You two have been called by the priestess Drusilia into her quarters, where she holds audience atop the high tower of the Citadel on the Sea. All you know is that they said that it was a rather pressing matter that needed your immediate attention. And when you arrive, the woman, who looks to be nearing middle age but holding on to her beauty quite well, wearing a sea green dress with a sheer white robe draped over top, eyes both of you kindly as you walk into the chambers. Standing next to her is Jet Schuyler, the leader of the Radiance Force, adorned in his, typical Radiance Force armor, complete with a helmet with a clear red visor running in front of the eyes. You can still see his eyes clearly, and his square jaw, gives a small smile on his otherwise straightforward, all business expression. It runs right underneath his chestnut brown mustache. And as you walk in, she says, "I am so very pleased to see both of you."
Thank you, priestess. We are well.
The reason I call you here is to speak of a matter of grave importance that has just come into our purview. As you know, the Aether Stones are spoken of in the prophecies of light. They are said to be 3 powerful artifacts that, when brought together, compose the heart of Umdaar. Recent arrivals to the Citadel, refugees from a ransacked village, tell of an ancient temple on an island of the Leering Lake. The temple is said to be concealed by deciduous forest, overrun with vines and shrubs, and their people consider it forbidden. But they have also passed down stories for generations of the living rock that was placed within the temple by the Ancient Ones. Jet Schuyler chimes in and says, "Yes, it's true. We believe that this living rock may in fact be one of the Aether Stones. It is of the utmost importance that we send a party to retrieve this artifact before Serpentus Rex or any of his men might find out and get their hands on it."
And so you want us to go and retrieve this rock for you?
Yes.
Sorry, is it?
That would be the idea.
Right.
But the Leering Lake is far away. How will we get there?
It is true. It is well over a day's journey, even with the assistance of vehicles or mounts. Well, unfortunately, the Radiance Force can spare no men at this time. But we could free up a couple of light vehicles to speed along your passage. A couple of sky cycles might aid in the expedition of your journey.
Yes, even with sky cycles, lady, we should get going soon.
It is true. The travelers, the ones who came to the Citadel, who knows who might have overheard their stories along the way. For all we know, Serpentus's men could be on their way, trying to locate the object as we speak.
It's a race then. We should leave immediately.
May the light shine on you, priestess.
You know where the Leering Lake is. You know that it's a huge lake, like one of the Great Lakes or something. Like where you couldn't necessarily see shore from the other side, type of thing, or it'd be extremely distant. There are, lots of islands and little island chains in the lake.
And then certainly while we're traveling, I for sure was trying to keep my cool in front of the High Priestess. But as we're going, I'm for sure starting to get anxious.
Have no fear. I will keep you safe and dry.
The light grows dimmer and dimmer in the skies above Umdaar. Not too far off in the distance, you see a very, very small, remote village.
Lady, to the east I see lights. Perhaps that could be a place that we could rest for the night.
I am weary. An inn sounds wonderful.
Very well. You begin to land your sky cycles, and you find your way to a very, very small common house where one might get a drink, in this tiny village. When you hear a commotion from outside, you hear a man saying, "No, please stop! That's all we have to give!" And it seems like someone's in trouble.
Jaguarundi.
It seems like someone's in trouble.
Let's go check it out.
You see a peasant in rags villager being held with his feet a few inches off the ground by the scruff of his tunic. The man, if you can call it that, holding him, says, "Ha! Serpentus demands more from you than this petty offering. Our taxes will be increased if the people of your village cannot deliver."
Oh.
Yes, he looks like more machine than man, though he does have two clenched fists. Though his eyes and mouth and his joints glow as though some sort of energy is feeding through him. And along with him are four very unusual characters. You recognize these characters immediately. It's Glowbuzz. He is one of Serpentus Rex's lieutenants. And he has a squadron of echosaurs with him. Echosaurs are obviously the mutant, the mutant cross between a dinosaur and a bat. Naturally.
Of course.
So yes, Glowbuzz is here extorting this tiny village, and he has a small squad of echosaurs with him.
Could I ask you a tabletop question, Aaron?
Yes.
Or a tabletop question? We are going for, right, the flavor of 1980s cartoon.
Yes.
So my one concern would be like, would the level of oppression and tyranny be to the point that, like, if we tried to stop this, that Serpentus would come back and, like, burn this village down? Or would we be like the heroes that would show up like Billy Jack and, like, you know what? Doesn't matter. I know the answer to that question already.
Yeah,
I just had to work it out.
Yep.
Out loud.
Yeah. Just sometimes you just have to say things out loud, and it occurs. The right answer occurs to you.
Right. So we're gonna do that thing where we look at each other and then have that moment where we're like, and then look over and, like, square up and.
Glowbuzz, what brings you to this part of the world? It's so nice here. You don't fit in.
He's got that peasant by the scruff of his neck, turns to you, is like, "What? Lady Elena, I ought to have known. I see you've got your house cat as well. Echosaurs, get them!" Lady Elena is first. She's quick to react. What do you do?
Your minions won't stand between me and you, Glowbuzz. And I'm gonna use my magic hoodoo powers to knock him off his feet. I'm gonna knock him backwards.
You are going to knock Glowbuzz backwards?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna skip the minions. I'll let the kitty eat the bats.
All right. So it sounds like you are trying to create an advantage. You're trying to create the quality off balance against Glowbuzz. And how are you going to knock him? How are you going about knocking him off balance?
I do want to be congruent with that. I'll have to use my hands for all of my magical effects, raise them up and have a bunch of light come out of them. And it's really just kind of like a wall of force or a bolt of force that attempts to knock him backwards. So just roll my quick.
Yes. And I will I will roll likewise for I'm assuming this is something that can be seen, even if it's like transition.
Yeah, everything has light.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I will roll the same for Glowbuzz to dodge out of the way. So he's got a 4. Now you could if you wanted, you could spend a fate point to re-roll or boost your attempt by 2, but you would have to explain, the aspect that you're using and how it comes into play.
I'm okay with this, letting this one ride for now.
He's too quick, dodges out of the way. Lady Elena, who's going next in the initiative order?
I'm going to say, I don't always want to give it to the party, to the players, but we were more prepared. We got the jump on them, so I am going to hand the initiative to Isaac.
Jaguarundi, what do you do?
Or to Jaguarundi.
So is Globuz still holding the peasant?
I assume not, because he had to like leap out of the way. So he probably dropped the peasant to the ground, who landed, on his keister and was safe out of the way of the force.
So he's already out of the way.
Yeah, he's out of the way.
Okay, cool. In this scene, I'm going to try to use one of the Echo Bats to sort of ram the others, like try to like throw one of them into.
Nice.
Are you trying to damage an Echo Bat, or are you trying
No,
to
it's
them
create
in
an
disarray?
advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so
I'm trying to more just get them scattered and like.
So you try to grab onto one and basically swing him around and like get the other ones to clear the area, spread out a bit. Yeah. Is that
exactly.
Basically, okay. So
like, in my mind, they're. I don't know if
Yeah.
this is like how you're seeing it, but in my mind, they're using their wings to kind of like be menacing-ish.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's why I like the way in my cartoon mind I saw it.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. If it wasn't before, it is now. So you do that. So I'm going to say that's a forceful approach. So go ahead and roll forceful, and the Echo Bat trying to use quick to evade at this point. Oh shit. Okay, so
Nicely done.
yes, so you succeed. You grab the Echosaur. You grabbing him by his shoulders or whatever, and literally picking him off the ground and swinging him around in a circle. You create an aspect, and you and an ally may invoke it for free twice.
So how does that work game-wise for invoking that then?
So this for this one, it's free because you've spent your action to create this advantage, to create this aspect, right? Globuz is going to, he's not off balance or anything, but he does like stagger back a bit from you swinging the Echosaur around and sending the other ones into disarray. So he jumps back and does a little super heroic-ish landing and says, "Hey, that'll be enough of that! You get your filthy claws off my men!" And he puts out both hands, both fists, which transform, like they retract into his cuffs, and then come back out as glowing saw blades, which he then fires at you from like a short distance away. So they go streaming right at you, spinning.
With my cat-like reflexes, I'm going to do like a spin move. So like, I'm going to move in between the two blades, and they're going to go around me as I like...
All right, so that sounds like a quick maneuver to me as well, so why don't you roll me quick. The buzzsaws go spinning to either side of you as you leap and twist in the air, and then land back down. You land on all four, and then immediately spring back up, with your warrior prowess. The Echosaurs, they're in disarray, but they are going to actually take to the air and start firing shots at down on the ground. They're basically gonna like try and lay down like suppressive fire to distract Lady Elena. How are you evading this suppressive fire? How are you dealing with this suppressive fire, Lady Elena?
They took to the air.
Uh-huh.
And are the other two rushing me, or are they rushing Jaguarundi?
No, they're rushing at you.
Oh.
Or actually, I guess they wouldn't have. I guess they would. I mean, if Jaguarundi had run up to them, they would kind of rush up to him, and you'd be off in the distance. So how do you avoid the incoming fire from the sky?
Yeah, can I tuck and take a dive roll under, like, there's that nearby tree?
Yeah, totally. No, there's this is just to set the scene. This is not like there's no accurate representation. There's no terrain, tabletop-y stuff. So yes, you do. You can try and dive behind a tree trunk. So go ahead and roll me quick.
1.
All right. So they did in fact fail. The other two are going to try and they're just going to try and rush at Jaguarundi and try and tackle him. So they're also going to get a +1 to this roll.
I'm going to leap over them, or at least attempt to. It's just timing, like it's just using my cat prowess to try to launch before they get to me.
Yeah, go ahead, roll it up. Okay, so they tied with you.
Invoking the disarray, like I have enough time to recognize that they're rushing, to give myself that +2.
As a result, they do not tie with you. So if they had tied with you, just to table talk the mechanics for a second, their attack doesn't connect strongly enough to cause any harm, but they would gain a boost. So that would be like a free, like a one-off aspect that they can activate freely for once, and then it's gone. I'm gonna switch the order up and pass it to Jaguarundi, who just leapt over them.
Yeah, then I will use my forward momentum and attack. Glowbuzz.
Leap over the Echosaurs and barrel into Glowbuzz.
Yeah, claws out.
All right. Claws out. Is that flashy or forceful?
Ooh. I think it's forceful.
All right. So give me a forceful. Glowbuzz just kind of meets you head on. He wants to use his full force to meet your full force. So he's also, instead of dodging out of the way, he's just gonna meet you head to head.
Ooh.
Oh. Nothing bad happens to you. Basically, you would just fail. He blocks your claws by putting his hands up, and you're basically like trying to avoid his buzzsaws while he's like blocking your arms coming down. Who goes next in initiative?
I'm going to give it to Glowbuzz just because the camera's on him.
There you go. That's the call.
All right. He's kind of like locked in combat with you a little bit. You guys are one-on-one. You're separate. So Glowbuzz has a stunt called Nuclear Powered. Once per scene, Glowbuzz can drop his nuclear shielding and get a +2 to sneakily attack if he's in a one-on-one melee combat. So essentially, you come in at him and he says, "Ha! I've got you just where I want you, Jaguarundi. You see, I can drop my protective armored shielding and release the radioactive glow within. Ha 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 ha!" Oh, fuck! And I'm gonna
really
say,
shook up that light stick.
so, like the effect of you failing would be like feeling so weak from radiation suddenly overcoming you, but cartoon radiation, so it's not gross like that Chernobyl documentary. Or that, not documentary, that HBO show. But anyways, so how are you trying to resist this energy draining glow that you're suddenly overcome with? I'm gonna say that it's probably forceful, because you're just trying. I mean, you're basically stuck there, and you're just trying to like physically resist, right?
I'm already kind of like holding onto his, like grappling with them, sort of.
Yeah.
As well as you can with the guy with buzz saws for hands.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll just be like an attempt to push him away. I'll try to like.
Right.
If it
There's
works out,
also like an internal like a constitution trying to like physically resist the effects of glowing radiation.
Totally.
So go ahead and roll forceful to try and resist that. All right. Well, as it stands, Glowbuzz would succeed with style. So you mark that single stress box, the one with the 3 next to it.
Gotcha.
Because it has a value of 3.
Yes. And then you create a consequence, a mild consequence, and I'm going to have you label that mild consequence feeling dizzy. So you now have a mild consequence, feeling dizzy.
Got it.
Cool. And that was the end of his turn, and I'm going to say that it's Lady Elena's turn after that vicious sneak reveal by Glowbuzz.
Jaguarundi, I trust that you'll make this. I'm going to have Lady Elena line up a nice pool shot to shoot a bolt of force at one of the echo swords that are on the ground and have it bounce up into one of the flying ones and then bounce to the third. I'm going to take the time and really get myself into position as I'm in cover and line this up.
Are you going to do the math? You're going to do the trigonometry?
Yes. It's the Schoolhouse Rat math moment where you see the little Pythagorean geometry comes out.
So your success gets you the aspect of well-aimed shot, which you can you have one free activation on.
Okay.
And there is also still, because they have not tried to overcome this aspect being in effect, the Echo Stores are still confused, they're still in disarray. They haven't really strategically regrouped from Jaguarundi's vexing assault. So, just so you know, on your next turn, what you're trying to do, you would really want to basically just activate all those aspects so you do a really kick-ass thing. The Echosaurs are they're all firing weapons, but these two are firing down from the sky at the sorceress trying to summon and aim her skill well, or her shot well. So what they're actually doing is not trying to attack you or damage you, but they're laying down fire to try and overcome this aspect that you created. It's careful for you to continue doing what you're doing without being shot, and it's going to be forceful for them to. Actually, no, it's going to be flashy for them.
Going for flashy?
Yeah. To try and distract you, right?
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You first.
Hey.
All right. Yeah. No, they do not succeed at trying to overcome that aspect. And the other two are going to fire at Jaguarundi. They are going to try and they are actually trying to attack Jaguarundi, though, because he is a big physical threat. So that is going to be forceful. And they are going to lay down fire.
I guess I will use my speed to try to get out of the way.
All right, roll me quick.
Can I use one of my fate tokens? Can I use the Claw of Kundar? Can I to maybe deflect one of the laser blasts and then take the other one?
If you roll well enough, you can use it to deflect all the laser blasts. And now you have spent a fate point, and you increase your reflexes by +2, which is enough to tie.
What does that mean?
It means they create a one-time temporary aspect against you, but you don't take any damage. That's the result of a tie. Well, you do manage to use the Claw of Kundari to Wonder Woman style deflect the blast coming at you. The force of the blast does manage to knock you off balance. I'm gonna send it back to Lady Elena, who has been carefully aiming her shot and manifesting a force bolt for the ages.
So I'm gonna let that go.
Use everything.
Do you want to use your Echosaurs in disarray?
No. I left that for you.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
All right, then let's check that box too. My original statement was that I was gonna, which I guess I'm shooting in the back of the head of one of the Echosauruses that are on the ground, and lining that bolt up to hit the 2 flyers. My goal is to knock them all to the ground. Do you think? I don't know. Can I attack more than one thing? Can I use this as an attack instead?
You can't really, unless you have a specific thing for it, like a stunt. You do have your one stunt that lets you attack everything,
but I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well, how about this? Hey! I've got an idea. You have 2 more stunts that you can take. What if one of your stunts is bouncing energy bolts or something like that? And so it allows you, if you succeed with style in a ranged, magic attack, instead of taking the boost, you can automatically attack
apply
another
it to
target.
multiple.
Yeah, you can automatically attack the same or different target.
This is clever. I think you're right.
This is clever.
It's clever.
All right. So go ahead and roll me clever, and we'll see how it goes. And then when your turn's over, you can add that stunt to your character sheet.
And you're using the well-aimed shot and the Echosaurs in disarray?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can wait to use that until after he sees the...
you can make the roll first.
Yeah, you see the dice results first.
So I see that I got a 0, and it makes real good sense to use my well-aimed shot here.
Hey!
5. A much happier number.
So I think it would be careful for them to not be hit from behind.
Okay.
They're not very good at careful. But that's just the way it goes, man. Sometimes you can't always roll the stat that you're best at. So you definitely succeed with style.
Okay.
Yeah, you hit it with the energy bolt, and then the energy bolt goes flying off in a direction of one of the airborne ones. Mm-hmm. Is that what you wanted to do? So go ahead and make another attack. He is going to use, because he does not have his back turn, he is going to use quick while he is in the air to evade. -1. So yeah, you see the Echosaur like spiral down, down behind the tree line somewhere, not too far away. And then
I almost feel bad.
And Lady Elena, that was your turn at the top of the initiative order, so you can pass it to anyone else on the table.
Let's just finish up the theme. Give it to the Echosaurs.
The Echosaurs are going to redouble their efforts, and they are going to try and attack. Leave Jaguarundi to Glowbuzz, because he seems to be doing a good job of it, and they are going to take. The other one takes to the air, and they all, basically are just going to fire down at the lady. You know what? You were just out in the open controlling a force bolt, so I'm going to say that it's quick to jump back to your defensive spot.
Okay. Oh.
So
you can use the Echosaurs in disarray still.
I like keeping it for the offense. Offense is where you win. That's fine. They deserve to get a shot in.
All right. So how are you going to deal with that damage?
I will
check
take
off
the
a
first little stressing mark.
One stress box, the number 1 stress box.
Yeah.
All right. So a blast comes in and wings your shoulder, and you let out a small cry as you manage to as you still manage to duck back to your preferred position. The Echosaurs are going to pass it to Glowbuzz. I know I've been polite and trying to circle it around, but Glowbuzz is out for blood against Jaguarundi. Glowbuzz is going to step back, seeing the weakened Jaguarundi. The Jaguarundi that is also off balance. And he is going to hold up his buzzsaws and clang them together, allowing radioactive sparks to spray off the spinning saws, and do a full 360. do like a tornado whirlwind attack against Jaguarundi. So that's going to be a very flashy attack.
I'm going to actually fall over backwards so that as he whirlwinds around, it's going to go just over the top of me. And then I'll like back my way out.
Oh, that is very sneaky. I'm gonna say that's a sneaky. So you got a 2. Globuz is definitely going to activate the Jaguarundi as off balance. And that's a one-time use aspect, so that'll knock his thing up to a 5.
Jeez.
So that's a difference of 3.
Yes. So that's succeeds with style.
That we don't want to happen.
Right. Can I spend a fate point? Knowing that Lady Elena is being shot at by the
Echosaurs?
The Echosaurs, my duty as her protector overcomes my like what I'm doing with Globuz, and instead it's just like I just want to get out of Globuz's way to get back to Lady Elena to make sure that after I saw her get hit by the bolt or whatever. I just take 1 damage, right?
Yes.
1 stress.
Yes.
So you use the box with 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll take that as my 1 stress. How long does it take to get rid of stress?
Stress is recovered after like once a new scene starts, you clear your stress boxes.
Okay, cool. So as I do my cat like the clumsy movement followed by the super graceful movement, as though I meant to do that all along.
Yes.
I'm then gonna leap up and strike one of the Echosaurs with the Claw of Kundari.
You're overcoming the fact that they are in the air and you are not.
So yes, yeah, I'll like come out of the roll, like tuck away from the Globuz, backward somersault, jump up, run up the side,
up the tree, and leap off.
Yeah, and then like strike.
That sounds like a very flashy maneuver.
I hope so.
They got a 0.
So even with the +2, that's still a difference of 3?
Oh yeah. No, you leap off the tree, you grapple, so you succeed with style, and you accomplish your goal and generate a boost. Because of your boost, you can create an aspect that you have leapt out, grabbed onto him, and therefore you guys are both in the air, but he is grappled and restrained by you.
Yeah, totally. I'll throw it back to Lady Elena and start over again.
I think on the end of the turn, although it doesn't really actually matter.
Well, actually, no, Jaguarundi was the end of the turn, because you started
I was the last one.
Yeah. I started?
Lady Elena, yeah, you did.
Yeah, I went you, and then the...
Oh, that's right.
Source, then Globuz, then me.
Alright. Well, if you're going to manage that, I'll take over Mr. Globuz. Alright, Globuz. I saw what you did there, and we can't have any more of that. I'm going to create some light bands to also grapple and restrain Globuz, pinning his arms down to his side.
You're not, like, trying to hurt him. You're trying to, like...
So, actually, if we can meta this up for a quick minute.
Yeah.
Let's say we win. You know, what are, I don't think we're trying to kill him. We don't want him dead.
And I'm with you too, Bill, that like He-Man style, like we wouldn't defeat the first enemy we came across, but we would like do slightly better in battle, and they would like be like, you get it this time.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of like what I was generally trying to do was kind of puffy up, subdue, and scare them off a bit.
Right. I say just hit him hard.
Just hit him?
Yeah. Try to get him to concede.
Okay.
I mean that would be like my storytelling option.
That works for me. Yeah. Let's get forceful. Let's just shoot him.
All right, and he is going to try. I mean, obviously, he's going to just try and evade this attack with his reflexes. What?
1 and 1.
You got all those fate coins there.
You got all those fate points, Bill.
Watching her new brother get kind of like pulverized has really brought out her ire, and she just wants to smack the bad guy down and punish him a little bit.
And he is going to knock off a stress box for that.
I'm doing it. I'm sorry. I'm giving this to Jaguarundi.
Jaguarundi, are you forcing that creature to the ground?
I'm going to try to force it into Glowbuzz.
Yes! Yes!
Jaguarundi succeeds, but not with style.
So if I use grappled and restrained,
You would succeed with style.
that's what I'd like to do.
All right, it is grappled and restrained. You drive that grappled and restrained beast to the ground. And then what boost, what temporary aspect do you apply to Glowbuzz for having driven this creature right into the ground at his feet?
He's like mentally shaken. He's like
They are going to concede.
cool.
He's going to command he calls out. He basically gets like knocked back, and one of his hands retracts back into a regular hand, and he rubs his sore head, and stands up on 2 feet and says, "Echosaurs, retreat! But we'll meet again, defenders!" And they run off. They run off into the woods, leaving the village safe and defended by the defenders of Umdaar. And of course, the few villagers here and there like come out of the surrounding buildings and all like, "Thank you, oh, thank you, oh, defenders against Serpentus Rex's minions." Oh. So, you all are taking off the next day, continuing the rest of your trip to the island located in the Leering Lake. You make it to the Leering Lake, and you are flying,
A tragic lake, like a King Lear lake, or is it a leering at you lake?
It is just a very dark, rough-watered lake as you approach and skim overhead.
On our sky cycles, poor Jaguarundi.
Yes,
Nervous.
poor Jaguarundi.
I have a bad feeling about this.
And Jaguarundi, your instincts are, you keep trying to keep well above the water.
Yes.
But because you are feeling dizzy, you find yourself continually unable to maintain the heights that you would be comfortable with.
No.
So I am compelling you to, you are flying much closer to the surface of the water than Lady Elena wants you to.
My ears are pressed flat against my head and my eyes are really big.
Yeah. You're coasting along, and just as Lady Elena lets out another warning of trying to, we should have higher altitude, the water erupts from underneath you.
No!
And a massive green tentacle bursts out of the water, grabbing onto your sky cycle. Not you, but to your sky cycle, stopping it in its tracks, and of course you are grasping on riding the sky cycle. And And from that, several more tentacles erupt out of the water, and a massive kraken-like form comes out of the water. Though it seems to be dripping with vegetation, as though some sort of kelp, seaweed, plant sort of kraken. You see immediately that this beast is far too big to merely be slain, but it is clearly hungry and clearly stands in between you and making it the rest of the way to the island.
How far am I from the island now?
You're a narratively appropriate distance from the island. Too far to swim. One must overcome this challenge.
Right. I really wanna. Oh man. Like the cartoon in my head wants him to try to use the Kraken to stay above the water. To like try to spring from the
Jump to my sky cycle.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. That's true. I could just try to jump to your sky cycle. Are you? Oh man. Yeah,
so
that's okay.
Lady Elena sees this happen and circles back, sweeping closer to where your sky cycle is grappled by this tentacle and being shaken through the air, and you're holding on for dear life. So you try to leap onto Lady Elena's sky cycle. So
I'm gonna try to pounce and hold on to her sky cycle.
All right, I believe that's definitely a quick.
Quick.
Unless you think
nice.
No, quick works. I would have said it was either quick or forceful, and they're the same rate for me. So that makes total sense.
All right, so you easily, well, not easily, but you make it onto Lady Elena's sky cycle, which drops slightly as you land and then recovers in altitude. Lady Elena tries to, as she starts to take off, another massive tentacle comes out and tries to grab at Lady Elena's sky cycle as the other sky cycle is being pulled closer and closer down to the water as the tentacle retracts into the sea. Lady Elena, I assume you try to maneuver and get away, outrun the beast?
Yes.
Okay, so what would that approach be?
Gotcha. Slalom. Let's see.
Was that going to be a careful action? Are you planning out some sort of escape route?
Can I do that?
If that is what you're doing, then that is what you would do. Yeah. Yes. So you carefully navigate through the encroaching tentacles as they burst up, trying to grab on to the flying sky cycle that's weaving through the air. So yes, go ahead and roll me careful. Ooh, that is not careful enough.
Ooh.
You want to try? Have you got anything to? You got anything to boost that up?
Is this something that's not going according to plan?
Yeah, it sounds like something that's not. It sounds like the plan's falling apart.
Oh no! I don't know that we're quite there though. That'd be pretty bad, huh? Is it?
Well, that's one of your.
Sorry,
that's one of your aspects.
Yeah.
So your frustration with it not going to plan could be the thing that you use to invoke your fate coin to then somehow accelerate out of the way.
Either re-roll or because I don't know what is your careful your bonus to it.
3.
3? So that means you rolled 3 negatives on the dice. It might be worth just re-rolling.
Yeah.
Rather than adding a +2.
Let's do it. You're
okay.
throwing that fate point out. I go up to 4.
That is a success. That is a successful overcome. And so you manage to get through and evade the creature, and as you fly off, it's squeaking and waving its tentacles, but also disappearing into the distance.
Goodbye, Kelp Kraken. Smell you later.
You make your way, you find the island that the refugees at the Citadel spoke of. You make your way through the jungle following their vague instructions, and finally you arrive at the temple, a cracked and ruined ancient construction, overrun with roots and vines and jungle shrub.
Well, this looks like it must be it, Jaguarundi.
Do you think the Aether Stone is in there?
Something's aglow. Let's go check it out. Can I not use my light magic to just have it glowing, to be constantly fueling a glowing ball to give us some kind of illumination?
I mean, that could be one way to overcome this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. As you are making your way through the hallway, Lady Elena, obviously very, very intent on examining the intricacies of this temple, as it sparks her, intellectual curiosity.
Not seen rooms like these for hundreds of years. I'm breaking the world. Go on.
You feel a stone beneath your feet slide and make a stony, grinding sound as it depresses under your paw. From behind you, a wall.
Trap!
a thick stone wall quickly slides down from the ceiling to the floor. And then ahead of you, a spool of toothed stone discs drops down into the hallway and begins spinning like a giant meat grinder. It looks as though it's slowly inching towards you. Just as this happened, runes on the wall tiles illuminate with a soft green light as the spool begins to spin faster and faster and close in closer to you. I'm going to give Lady Elena the first action because Jaguarundi set the trap off. So, Lady Elena, what do you do?
Is the spool as wide as the hallway we're in?
Yes.
So it fills up the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
It's a no escape scenario, right? Like, there is a giant thing that's coming. No, not that there's no escape, but that it's a.
Yeah.
If we don't do anything, this is going to kill us no matter what.
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to basically immobilize one or put like a ramp in front of one side of the spool, one edge of the spool, forcing it to not
trying to
not allowing it to go anywhere. Let it
try and get it
kind
to
of pivot
jam
around.
so it falls off of whatever's.
Now, blast my little magic light and make my little break lock for it.
I'm gonna say that sounds like a clever approach to me.
All right. So 1.
I'll tell you that's not gonna do it.
Yeah, I'll burn a fate point. I think from just she's definitely studied some geometry, and she knows just trying to stop the whole thing is the worst possible idea. So it's stop the smallest part of the thing, manage the smallest area, and then use that as a fulcrum to overcome the major point.
So from your aspect of being taught in the great library
Yes.
yes. Excellent. So throw that fate point down. And are you re-rolling, or are you giving the +2 to your roll?
Let's just give it a +2. 3 is going to work, right?
That's a success.
If it doesn't, we're really screwed.
That is a success. I will tell you also that the different approaches don't all have the same difficulty that they're facing.
Oh.
This problem calls for brains. Leave the brawn to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Nice.
So you
And that's a forceful action.
yes, that is a forceful action.
Definitely the way you've described it compared to my clever.
And I will also use a fate token.
Oh yeah.
I'm using the strength of the
Kundari
ancestor
pride, the
making-
ancestor. Yes. Yeah.
I guess I'll re-roll it.
Okay. You got anything else? I feel like if you could boost that up, you just might have
here's
it.
the thing. Can I do this? And this is, you can totally tell me no. But so instead of an aspect, is it possible to use my stunt in the place of an aspect?
What is the wording of your stunt? Is it specifically for attacks?
Because I have the Claw of Kundar, once per scene, I can call out the weapon's name and get a +2 to flashy or forceful attack.
Okay, so how about a new stunt? Once per game session, I can get a +2 to forcefully overcome any challenge.
Okay, and that's like calling on the ancestors or something.
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want, but it's like it basically is because you are the last warrior of the Kundari. You're it's just you just amassing that like that pulling from that cartoonish ancient strength that is just
and so what was it? What was the mechanism? Once per session, gain +2
to
forcefully overcome any challenge. So then, now that you have that stunt, you draw on the strength of the Kundari and manage to hold it in place, and the thing's like lurching, and I mean it's still in motion, but it's like being slowed and stalled, and so that's a success. A 5 on that is a success. A lady.
Thanks for that, Jaguarundi. That gives me more time to study these runes, and they look familiar to me. I've read about them in the Library of Alexandria. Tell me more about these runes, Game Master Flash.
I would say that if you carefully examining the runes would be the approach if they have anything to tell you about their relation to this death trap of the ancient temple.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And that glowing green light I see...
Sounds like a careful to me.
Okay, so while I'm, holding, like, doing the thing that I was in before, right? Like, I'm already engaged in that action. I'll, say something about the, like, remember when we were in the dungeons of Korlaz, this reminds me of the crushing windows. And
God damn those crushing windows. So deceptive. Just when you thought they were windows, they were crushing. Yes.
And then and point out like something about the runes, So is that?
I'd say that's
careful. Like it's not necessarily that he's super smart for remembering this. It's that he's carefully laying out for Lady Elena what to look for.
So you have one free activation. One free activation. Oh, god damn it.
That's fine. You don't need it on the screen because we're going to use it right away.
I'm just going to use it right now.
That's true.
We have one more roll.
Yeah.
And we're using that. Okay.
We'll call it I just remembered.
Take another look with a new frame of reference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hit me with it.
Right.
Careful.
And we'll add 2 to it.
Oh, there you go.
3 plus 2 is 5?
That succeeds with style. You manage to re-examine the runes. I assume you say something to Jaguarundi. You're right. It is just like the crushing windows. And you depress.
I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that.
Yeah, but you depress the tiles. You start depressing the tiles in a certain order, just as as Jaguarundi's hind paws are being pushed back across along the stony floor. And the thing draws closer and closer. You hit the final tile, and the light, the illumination of the runes on the tiles, dims, and the wheel slowly stops spinning, and very clunkily, like lifts back all up into its original fixed position. Atop a rocky pedestal in the middle of the chamber, the suspected Aether Stone hovers atop it, lit by a thin beam of light shining in from the surface. But who is brave enough to grab the stone? I am going to throw some aspects on the table. And as you approach it and start to examine it, you hear a voice from behind you. Ha! You've led us right to it then. Simple fools. And you turn around, and in one of the other hallways leading out of this chamber, you see Glowbuzz standing in the hallway.
Of course. Is he alone?
Well, he...
as far as we can tell.
Do we see if there's anybody else? Do we see any other entities with him?
Well, I would love to tell you, Lady Elena, but, and this is kind of like a compel, I'm invoking the aspect of low light. You really can't tell.
Oh, fair.
You can barely see him just in the dim illumination of the hallway.
You want to make it a sprint, or you want to make it a smart fight, or do you just want to go toe to toe?
Let's make it a sprint.
All right. I can lay down some cover fire while you jump in, grab it, and then sprint back to me.
Yeah.
Just like in the mines of Cordier.
All right, so Jaguarundi, you leap forward to grab the Aether Stone from the pillar.
Hmm?
All right.
Holy cow. Okay.
As you do, and Lady Elena, Lady Elena. I've been so good about it all game. I don't know why I'm messing up your name now. Lady Elena, you are laying down cover fire?
Yes, I would like to some suppression fire. I would
all
like
right.
to keep them in back.
So go ahead and roll me a flashy create advantage.
Ooh, flashy. Pew. Not so successful.
So that was so you guys got to act first. Glowbuzz is going to also he's going to also rush and try and grab the Aether Stone, which is going to basically create a contest of trying to get it away from Jaguarundi. So I would say that is this is the contest of force. One person pulling at the stone against the other person pulling at the stone. But as Jaguarundi does make contact, suddenly you feel a tremor beneath your feet. So this aspect, the danger of tremors and falling rocks, has 4 activations.
4.
Yeah, the first time it's activated, it can give you a +1. Second time it's activated, it can give you a +2, and so on. But after the 4th activation, well...
The whole thing falls down.
I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So, yes. So as soon as you grab that, you all feel tremors shaking and dust starts falling from the ceiling, and obviously like clumps of rock start to fall intermittently, you know, sparsed out at first. But yeah, I'm gonna need, I guess, a forceful contest between Jaguarundi and Globuz.
Can we utilize my magical cover fire in this moment to act as a disadvantage for Buzzsaw or Globuz? Sorry.
You definitely can. So that would give him a -2, which would still put him ahead.
Let me use my fate coin first to re-roll. And then, if we still need it, we'll use the cover fire.
Well, you can use the magical cover fire to re-roll as well.
Oh, we can't do that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let me just do it that way then. Forceful.
All right. So I'm crossing it off. The aspect still exists, but it's you just don't. There's just no free activations on it. Ooh. Doesn't seem terribly worried about the magical cover fire that's coming in. And just as you guys are, you know, just as you're putting in all of your might to pull the stone away, a big chunk of rock falls out of the ceiling, hitting you on your left shoulder, loosening your grasp. And Globuz is able to take hold of the Aether Stone. Advance, my minions! Tie up the sorceress! So you get the feeling that there's other people in the hallway, but I'm going to pass initiative back to Lady Elena.
You know, one of the things in that Princess Ariel did a lot was use form her magic into like a rope and wrap it around people. And I think I want to do that around his ankles. I want to sneak my little magic light into a little force band around his ankles and hold his feet together, immobilizing him. Nope. Big fat 0.
Well, he has to resist. He's not really in a position to quickly react to anything after the standstill he's had, so I'm going to say it's a careful. You could bump that up.
Drama.
You could bump that up. You could,
You could Tremors and Falling Rocks or Fate Coin, either one.
Tremors and Falling Rocks. Let's do it.
All right. Magic bindings. All right, and then who are you passing the initiative to, Lady Elena? Elena?
Oh, I am gonna pass it to my buddy Jaguarundi.
Jaguarundi.
Noticing the magical bindings around his feet, I'm gonna use my quickness to run past him and grab the rock out of his hands, and as he tries to hold it, he's gonna trip and fall, and I'm gonna use that to my advantage, that he's gonna lose his balance while he's trying to hold on to it.
I think he's gonna try and just use forceful to plant himself firmly. Yeah. I don't think he has many other options right now.
Can we use the magical bindings to offset that?
Yeah. So yeah, whether it's on you or on him, either way, the result would be the same. So that puts you 1 ahead with a success. So you, Jaguarundi, now have the stone, and it is in your grasp, and you've basically run a circle around him, in the process of grabbing it. Who's next in initiative? You can pass it to Globuz or the
minion.
The Echosaurs?
The Echosaurs.
The Echosaurs.
Haven't been in it yet.
The Echosaurs are going to do what they do best. They're going to shoot their weapons like good, stormtrooper guards, and hopefully hit. So that's going to be forceful against Jaguarundi. Oh, hey. So the boost is that you are distracted from having dodged their attacks, and then I'm going to pass the initiative to Glowbuzz, which is going to use that boost. If he needs to, he's gonna use it. He's gonna retract his hands, pull out those blades, and say, "You think you can escape with the Aether Stone, little cat? Think again."
Because it's in my hands, I'll use the stone to try to select his blades. Columns and alcoves to say that, makes it harder for him to get toward, like for him to get his buzzsaw into that area, right? It's going to be like a...
Okay. Yeah. Like you're ducking around the corner, and so it's, he's not able to get a full... I get it. But as you duck into that corner and alcove, you already shaky on your feet are having to navigate another tremor, and just then rocks from that alcove drop to the ground and knock you off balance even further.
Ooh. Yeah, so that's really bad. So that's 5 shifts?
Yes.
It struck into my shoulder.
You can just make the aspect busted shoulder.
Yeah.
You can make it as simple as that.
Okay.
I'm going to pass it to Jaguarundi.
So who has the stone?
I still do.
He still does.
You still do. It's a sprint. We said it was a sprint.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make a run for it. I'll use my cat-like reflexes and speed to just bound away. My wounded shoulder.
Elena, are you, you're there, you're taking visual cues, and you guys have worked together and have a close enough relationship that you can see what he's about to do. Are you already making your way to be ready for the fact that he's going to bound out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what this whole plan started with. Get in and sprint out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So Elena, you're rocking and rolling and helping, and obviously you're going to be there to help in any way you can. I'm going to say that it's a contest of quick between Glowbuzz and Jaguarundi, right?
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and roll me quick, Jaguarundi, with a +1. Did you really roll a -1 with your +1? You want to spend a fate point about being the last warrior of the Kandari people?
I was actually going to use the low light, but
Oh, sure, whatever.
Say that
Just
because of my
for
cat
your
eyes,
speed. Oh,
I can see a little bit better.
And so you weave your way through so that it doesn't quite look like you're making a straight escape, and he's not able to follow in the darkness.
Exactly.
Okay, so go ahead and I would re-roll that right?
Yeah. And then
Tremors and falling rocks.
hell yeah.
Do you mind? One of you guys want to cross that out? Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Got it.
Excellent. Tremors and falling rocks. So you basically, right, you tied, because that becomes a 5. So the race...
Oh, no, I have a +1.
Oh, yeah. So you did succeed.
Yeah.
You for a little bit, running through the jungle, neither of you, look back. But you get enough distance, but to where you can still see bits of the temple, maybe, through all the dense brush. You look back to see if Glowbuzz is following you, and you look back to see the temple violently shaking now and starting to crumble. But just as it starts to crumble, the whatever was letting in the thin beam of light down on the Aether Stone's pedestal, you see two winged forms fly out of that hole, in the distance, and holding between the two of them, holding on to them, is the form of Glowbuzz, and you can just hear calling out through the distance, in the sky, like, I swear, as long as I'm alive, I'll get that filthy cat.
I feel like it should fade out with us around a small fire, maybe recuperating in the jungle as we get prepared to return.
With the ones thankfully we still have this one sky cycle.
Right, getting it ready to turning it into a 2-seater.
I doubt that's the last we'll see of him.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.